There are so many things that federal employees are trying to figure out right now in light of the delayed resignation offer that's currently on the table. We know we have a February 6th deadline for federal employees to opt in for this resignation, but definitely important to understand how all of your benefits are affected by the decisions that you are making. So I decided to focus this particular episode on your health insurance and your life insurance, knowing that this is a really big opportunity for federal employees to make sure that they understand what it looks like if you want to try to keep those benefits when you leave government service. Hi, my name is Chris Kowalik. I am the founder of ProFeds. Welcome to the Fed Impact podcast, where we offer candid insights on your federal retirement. So for all of our new followers, we're delighted to have you here. So welcome. This session won't be terribly long, but one that's really important given the nature of the topic. Health insurance and life insurance are two really important things, and you don't realize how important they are until you don't have them or they're at risk of going away. So let's cover some eligibility for being able to keep these two important benefits. We'll start by saying in order to keep the FEGLI and the FEHB, you must be retiring with an immediate pension. Okay, that's the first requirement. So in order to have that FEGLI and FEHB, you need to meet certain eligibility requirements. And if you don't, you're not going to be able to have the opportunity to be able to keep those. So when we talk about an immediate pension, what we mean is you being fully eligible to retire. You could go out on an early out, or what the government calls a VERA, a voluntary early retirement authority, a discontinued service retirement, where the government, it looks like an early out, but the government's forcing you out, and an MRA plus 10 retirement, kind of. Okay, and I share kind of because there are some special rules. So with each of these that I listed, these different types of retirements, you are eligible for an immediate pension. I want to talk very briefly about the MRA plus 10. I did a whole episode on that, so please go watch that. But for right now, thinking of the MRA plus 10 scenario, this is the type of retirement where you're not technically fully eligible, but you can leave if you have at least your minimum retirement age and at least 10 years of service, but there's going to be a penalty to your pension. If you take that penalty and go ahead and draw your pension right away that's penalized, you get to keep that health insurance and life insurance through the duration of your retirement. But if you choose to postpone, to voluntarily wait to draw your pension to avoid the penalty, and I won't get into the great details of this, but if you are postponing receipt of your pension voluntarily to avoid the penalty while you're in that postponement phase, you are not eligible for health insurance and life insurance. When you start your pension, when you do finally begin receiving that pension, you will have a new opportunity to be able to re-enroll in each of those programs. But I do want to make a special note for a lot of people who are considering this delayed resignation, and that is if you are not eligible for an immediate pension, again, fully eligible, early out, discontinued service, and MRA plus 10, you will not be eligible to keep your FEHB and your FEGLI. Okay, so you're going to have other plans to be able to get that type of coverage on the outside. So let's talk about the 5-year rule. The rule is that you need to be enrolled in FEHB or FEGLI for 5 years immediately prior to your retirement and on the day that you retire. So the day you retire and 5 years prior is the mantra that we use. Okay? Here's the deal. If for FEHB, if you were to take an early out, meaning you didn't meet full eligibility rules, but you did meet the early out eligibility rules to be able to retire with an immediate pension, you do not necessarily have to meet that 5-year rule. Okay, very, very important. This is only for FEHB. This does not apply to FEGLI. So for FEHB, let's say that you decided to get into FEHB in the last open season, so this past fall, and it went into effect in January of this year, and then your agency got early out approval, which is what has just recently happened in the last couple of days with OPM. At that point, because you've been enrolled since the agency was granted the VERA authority, you have the ability to continue on with that health insurance in retirement, even if you did not meet the 5-year rule. But that special rule does not exist for the life insurance piece. So if you have FEGLI and you wish to be able to keep it, you legitimately have to hit that 5-year mark. Okay, very, very important. I always want to make sure that federal employees understand not only their numbers, but the rules of how these things work. I would hate to find you on the other side of this resignation, not realizing what other benefits you may have given up because you didn't understand the rules. Okay, so if you plan to stick around, if you plan to take the resignation, whatever it might look like, I hope that you will make yourself a priority and get your numbers straight. If you need some help about how these benefits work, we do retirement training all over the country. We've got some overseas locations as well. So please get to a workshop. You can find all of the workshops that we have available all over the country by going to fedimpact.com/attend. You'll see all the dates and the locations, and hopefully we'll find one that's close to you. All right. And if you want some more direct communication from us, please feel free to pull out your phone and text the word podcast to 224-444-6144. And that way we will be able to keep you updated on future offers, any changes to the current offer that you're under, and certainly any of the pending legislation changes that are in Congress right now. All right. And of course, subscribe to the podcast player that you're on right now so you're sure not to miss an episode. All right. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next episode.